All right. I think we're live. Hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, jump up in the chat, leave a comment, whatever you feel like doing, whatever appeases you. Hope you're doing well. What is it, Friday? Who knows? Days are arbitrary. Does it really matter? Is there a typical Monday through Friday work week anymore? Does anybody just have weekends off? Is that even heard of? What's the American dream? Nobody knows. Got to be asleep to believe in it, though. All right, I'm Rob. Let's go live, if we're already live. I think we are. I don't know if you've seen the news. I put the link in the description down below. I try to do that for all my lives. YouTube's been clearing out my descriptions lately. Fun. But Screen Rant, Screen Geek, I forget which article. Screen Rant or Screen Geek? Oh man, I forget. It's in the description. They just wrote a story on how Goodfellas, the movie, if you've ever seen it, it's a classic mob film. How trolley, meep meep. Oh, that's cool. They got Flying Monkey advertising on the trolley. Flying Monkey. If you ever come to Salem, I don't know if I'll have time today. I'm downtown Salem, down over at the Commons. I gotta go do some work in a minute. But if you ever come into Salem, go to Flying Monkey T-shirt shop, locally owned. Some guy and his mom. They make the best T-shirts in Salem. But Screen Rant, Screen Geek, Screen Junkie, I feel like all those are the same website. They put out an article today discussing Goodfellas, the mafia flick, getting a trigger warning, parental advisory, lyrics, content warning. Remember those? Did they put parental advisory on? Those are so cool. I want a T-shirt that says parental advisory. But they used to put that on like tapes and CDs. Then it kind of disappeared, right? I think it just disappeared on the whole. I haven't seen them in forever. But now it's coming back. It's making its way back. I think from 2000 till pretty recently, it was just like PG-13, rated R, M for mature, right? You don't see a parental advisory warning, content warning, explicit lyrics. That's what it said. Parental advisory, explicit lyrics. It was a black and white label for you young cats. They used to put them on cassette tapes and CDs. And that way you knew if you bought the one that they said the F word, or if they bleeped it out, or it was re-recorded. And that's all this is. If you're hearing a hubbub, people in the news saying, oh, snowflakes, oh, everybody's so sensitive now because they put an advisory before the Goodfellas movie saying, you know, this movie contains stereotypes. They might be the sensitive ones, because who gives a shit? Let's be honest. You put, you know, as many warnings as you want. Just make sure it don't take up too much time. Let me fast forward through it. That was the killer. I don't know if you have any DVDs or VHS tapes. VHS, you could at least hit fast forward. On some DVDs, like I put the Shrek DVD in the other day, and it had Ben Stiller standing there promoting his new film, Madagascar, and I couldn't fast forward through it. My son was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, it's an ad, back before you could like skip forward. So some DVDs just have advertisements, or like the FBI warning where it says like copywriting of this disc for distribution other than intended, you know, use or whatever. Like you couldn't fast forward through those, just so everybody knows. Certain DVDs you could, but most of them, if you hit the pop-up or top menu or the fast forward button or the skip button, you could not skip through these warnings or these ads. And companies made it that way. So these little content warnings, stereotypes involved in the movie, content warning, who gives a shit? It's usually like 3 seconds, at least the ones I've seen on Disney Plus. If you don't know, Disney Plus has already been doing this. They put them on Jungle Book, Lady and the Tramp, Dumbo, Peter Pan, the Aristocats, and Swiss Family Robinson. Of course they put on the Aristocats. You ever seen that movie? And the Siamese cats? We are Siamese, if you please. Love those cats. But yeah, that's okay. Disney, put them on there. Let these little kids know that like how Walt was acting back in the day was a little out of the pocket. You know, that dude, you got that much money, you can portray anybody however you want. There was no checks and balances. So I think it's fine. But the people who are like, oh, like Michael Franzese, good guy, interviewed him, met him. He's a reformed mafioso boss. He's on YouTube. He's doing his own thing now. really, really cool, interesting fellow. I don't agree with everything he does, but I respect the art form, and I respect his story. But he got out of the mob, spent time in prison, and even he made a comment like, there's no need to protect these mob fellows. And I don't think that cultural warning before the AMC movie Goodfellas is protecting them. I think they're just saying like, hey, these are wicked stereotypes, wicked bad stereotypes. Essentially, I think that's what they're just trying to say. I don't know if it's protecting the mob, but it's just saying like, hey, not every Goomba from New Jersey, likes a Parmigiana. Maybe they all do. I don't know. Anyone from New Jersey in here? Do you love just Parmesan cheese? Do you shred it with your front teeth like a rat? But I mean, it's just funny how this is portrayed as like, some offense to woke culture and snowflakes not being able to watch a movie without being told it's stereotypes. No, it's probably for the young cats, because I mean, I can imagine a lot of kids coming up now being more inclusive, which nothing wrong with that. I hate my mom. Kiki Jim's Gaming. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Your mom, if you are a boy, your mom is going to be a very crucial and integral part to you growing up. Maybe she took away your gaming. But try to reconcile that relationship. And I say that as somebody, as an old head coming to you, trying to break you off some wisdom, as somebody who lost their mom when I was very young. You don't want to miss out on potentially reconciling with them. So my condolences that you hate your mom, but let's look into the reasons. Why do you hate her, Kiki Jims? Why? What was it? A punishment? Was she out of hand? Were you out of hand? Let's get some accountability. That's what we need. We need to look in the mirror and say, all right, maybe she said some stuff that was wild, but where was I wrong? JM Studios, hey, what is up? Appreciate you guys up in the chat. Oh, and probably because a lot of people joined after I said this, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I go live every weekday. And hit the notification bell, because I can't promise when I go live, but I go live. So to get that out of the way. So Kiki, let's do some self-reflection, okay? Let's see who's responsible. And if it is her, address it. Write her a letter, okay? Let's work this stuff out. That's what it takes to be a real man, to get in touch with those feelings, they're just feelings, and then to figure out how you progress, okay? Really, that is what we see today, is so many men get afraid of their feelings and it turns into anger. Don't let it do that. Man, if somebody hurts you, tell them, Ma, you hurt me with what you said. I didn't get to say that. Well, no, I did. I don't think she was listening. But it's not about if they're listening or not. It's about you taking control of how you feel and you setting precedent and standing your ground. So I highly encourage you, Kiki Jims. Sorry to sidetrack everybody. I'll get back into the Goodfellas content warning, trigger warning thing. Just Kiki said he hates his mom. And you got a Bernie's. Is that a Bernie's Mountain Dog? But these are important things. I see too many young men, too many influencers are on YouTube telling dudes like, you don't need to respect anybody, alpha males or this and that, and they're not. They're not. They're all little boys. These Tates and Petersons and Shapiros. They're all insecure. You know what they all remind me of? They all remind me of the dude who got bullied in high school, got out of high school because his parents were rich enough. They gave him a platform where he could elevate himself above everybody else because he already was standing 3 feet higher on their money stacks. And now that they got some money and a microphone, they want to abuse those who they felt rejected them instead of trying to reconcile with what had them be rejected. Were they dicks? Were they mean? Were they pompous? Were they whatever? And they pitch it as some pseudoscience, like this is just facts, when really it's just your feelings. And the truth is figure out what your feelings are. Life will go much easier. Once you start, I deal with this all day. Figure out what feelings are real and what you can do about it. So, and I'm talking to someone who lost both my parents when I was young, Kiki Jim's Gaming. And it's not something you want to grow up to regret. So, did I lose everybody? All right, we're back. I don't know if anybody's even here. My phone overheated. I got to get a new phone. Jesus. So hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry, I don't know what that looked like on the live, but it probably just paused. My phone just shuts off. It says emergency mode. Your phone's overheated. You can't just even hold on to a phone. Good morning. What's up, Kevin Hawthorne? And actually, I got to split. I'm so sorry that my phone, if you're just tuning in, what happens on the live, if it just goes blank, if it freezes. if I am outside doing a live stream for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then my phone just shuts down on me. But this content warning, I really want to talk more about this because I feel like these news outlets like complain and whine about it. They're like, Goodfellas has it, but The Godfather doesn't. And it's like, who cares? They'll all get the warnings. If they're 1 second long and they just say, hey, we were wicked we were wicked biased and we had wicked bad stereotypes back in the day, who cares? Does it ruin your movie experience? All the people complaining, this is my question to you. Are you that sensitive that seeing something before a movie plays ruins your experience? That's hilarious to me, that your feelings are that hurt, that you're that offended. For real, think about this. If you're like, oh God, now they gotta put warnings in front of the movie. Calm down. You know what pissed me off? When they put in ads on the DVDs and you couldn't skip forward and couldn't fast forward through them. You couldn't skip over the ads. That drove me nuts. I was like, these effing companies are paying so much money. My skip button on my remote doesn't even work. That should be infuriating. That the wealth and power doesn't let us skip advertising. And it's happening in streaming now. Just look at my other live stream. They're saying now we're putting ads in everything, every paid tier, and you're not going to be able to skip them. Why aren't people frustrated over that? Why don't people get upset over that? But you say some words in the beginning that you can fast forward through, that blink on the screen for a second, that say, hey, you know, back in 1980 whatever, the characters portrayed were stereotypes. Okay, that's even more funny. And it's hilarious because it's on all the Disney movies and you're like, damn, Disney was way out of line. Who gets upset at this? Are you that sensitive that you're upset that they're saying warning, trigger warning, stereotypes? Because that is hilarious to me. And the people that try to pawn it off like they're fighting for freedom against woke culture, you sound a little butthurt, okay? Okay. So you sound a little upset that people are putting warnings on things. It's funny that the warning is more upsetting to certain people than anything else. Like they get upset over a warning. But they don't get upset about the ads you can't skip. F them. And you know who's paying them. The people who pay to keep those ads you can't skip. Alright, I gotta split. Hit that like button. I'm sorry that it cut out. I gotta remember. I gotta go inside like a well air-conditioned freeze box to do these live streams because my phone is so old. So my apologies. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. I go live every weekday. I appreciate you stopping by. And don't get upset at trigger warnings. Please don't get upset, because you're literally doing the definition of what the trigger warning is asking you not to do. The trigger warning is there to say don't get upset, and it's triggering you. Is that irony? A trigger warning's triggering people? Is that irony? It's gotta be. Peace.